Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. And today I'm going to be talking about, dating nightmares again. And I'm going to show some examples and real life messages that I have gotten from mega Republican or incarcerated or men who are against adopting and fostering or against either education or educated women or it's like because a lot of people think with my standards list that I put on two different dating apps that I must be stuck up and snotty. That's not it. That's not it. I've learned that I had to protect myself because after getting my bachelor's, you do not know how many men threaten that if you get your master's or if when you get your if you get your second master's, you cannot date me. I do not want a smart woman. I do not want an educated woman. I will not take you around my family. Or some of them will date me or they'll say they're interested in me, but then they start telling me I am not allowed to bring up my education or accomplishments or goals to their family. Do you know how many times that's happened? Do you know how many times that's happened? Or some guys think that I'm playing because there's, I forgot what the doofus name is, but he knows somebody that I used to know years ago. I forgot what job it was for, but I remember that I would be talking about some of my goals and dreams of like owning a business and stuff like that. And he just thought I was out of this world and so stupid and things like that. And it's like I remember on social media, he found out that I did publish one, like my first or second book, and he was just like, "Oh, you're so stupid. You're never going to make any money off of it. Oh, look at this little book." Because it was a children's book. He was like, "Oh, that's nothing. That's so stupid. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're delusional." And it's like, I remember one time, like someone brought up, like I brought up volunteering because I volunteer and stuff. And someone was saying how that is messed up. There should be no such thing as volunteering and you should get paid for that and stuff like that. I'm just like, well, when you have empathy, sympathy, compassion for people, it's like sometimes you want to do things just out of your heart because you want to do it. And sometimes it's something outside of your job because when you're not getting paid for it, you're relaxed. It's not as stressful because it's something you want to do. It's not a time clock on there. And I just remember this jerk, or in my opinion, he's an absolute jerk. Oh, you're so stupid. You're dumb. Oh, you're going to spend your time, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, well, it's better being at home all day smoking 420 and like wasting your time doing, etc. Like, because I mean, that's how I thought because that's all he was doing. That's all. So it's like, if you're going to put me down for my actions, I'm a lot like, and it's like, I'm not judging, but to me, it was just like, in my opinion, at least I'm spending my time doing something. And it's different if you're consuming it for medical reasons and things like that. That's different. But if it's only because that is your only goal in life is to consume it and to sit and do nothing, let's think about that. Let's think about that. But mentioning just sitting there, like, because with my ex, about the only thing he went to work, he took care. I mean, his daughters will say he's a good father, but they don't realize how much I played a part with him being a good father. But they would say he was a good father, or he is a good father. What I don't know how much time. The oldest one is in her 20s, so I don't know how much she sees him or whatever. But oh, it's it's crazy and amazing how He went to work and he came home, played video games, and smoked. That's all he did. That's all he did. And it's like, I sometimes, like, when he didn't have enough money for gas, I'm like, can you get a part-time job? Can you do something on the side? You fix computers. Why can't you post that? Go on Craigslist, or like go like with social media, with Instagram or whatever. Why don't you show different ways of fixing computers, and like maybe like put like maybe get a phone number, a Google number, or whatever, and so that, like, if people need their computer fixed or if they want a custom built one, it's like that could be a side business for you, because you keep asking me for money, but then when you go up north needing my money, I'm not allowed to let them know you're using my money. It's like all of the times they're like, oh, like, come to the bedroom real quick, because he needs my debit card or my credit card or cash. When he needs to go to the gas station, I have to go with him in case they ask for identification or something, because it doesn't have his name on it. It does, and then, like, when he waits for, if he goes with family members, he'll wait for them to finish at the register or whatever, and he'll go later to make sure they're not going to see my name's on the card. Yeah, yeah, he did all kinds of stuff. But at the end of the day, he always made me meet his family. I did not want to go meet them, especially, we both live closer towards my family. And I literally invited him over 20 to 30 times throughout the 7-year relationship. Near the end, it was fewer times because I gave up, because I'm like, each time you make up a reason, most of them are absolutely nonsensical, stupid, ignorant, just, or, oh, I don't have enough time. But then you play video games all day. I still remember the first Mother's Day that my mom passed away, and his mother calls. And she was like, oh, well, I bet that she's spending so much time with her mom right now and she's doing blah. And it got quiet because we've told her my mom passed away. We've told her more than once. And so when he had to tell her, well, she passed away, Mom. Oh, it's like, it was one of the most uncomfortable, like, because, like, she knew. We've told her. Or she just didn't listen. She didn't care. She does, like, in my opinion, she never cared about me. She was happy that I was doing stuff for her son. That was the only reason she wanted me to date her son, was because I was making sure he had his stuff together. That's the only reason she wanted me. Like, she couldn't stand that I was black. She would make sure when Fox News or whatever news was on, and, oh, a black person did a crime, at least you're not one of them. Yeah, that's what she would tell me each and every time. Or, oh, look what Candace Owens says in this. Oh, no, listen to the whole thing. No, thank you. Okay, I'm going to my... I used to just go to the guest room. It's like I would dodge them, and, like, during, like, yeah, I played our cartoon president. Oh my gosh. Stephen Bolt, you need to please bring that back. That is one of the only things that got me through the first one. We need our cartoon president back. It's hilarious. It's wonderful. It's amazing. Please. But yeah, it's like my ex's oldest daughter, she would come in the room and she's like, what's this? I'm like, oh, you never see it? Yeah, have a seat. Yeah, our cartoon president. And I'm like, oh, yeah. It's like, I would make sure, like, oh, okay, she's 17. She good. She good. And so we would watch episodes of it together and stuff. And we would be ending up laughing because so much of it reminded us of her family, of my ex's family. And it's like sometimes I kept wondering, why didn't my ex ever come over to my parents? Why didn't they want to meet? You know, because especially it's only about 45 minutes to 1 hour away. And I invited him over the Christmases that he wasn't with his family during the Thanksgiving, Easter's, and even a couple birthdays. And it's like Mother's Father's Day, I gave him the option because I'm just like, yes, like either we have a barbecue, we have a lot of food, but it's like usually some sports are on. You can watch with my dad, my uncles, or whatever. And I was like, you don't have to stay long, but you can at least show your face. Never. He never met neither of my parents. And when he came to drop off that money from the car, that he begged, like he had, like he kind of gaslit me and ordered me to go to the bank that day to drop it off to him that day because he wanted the car that day, because that meant he can get what he wanted so he can go to his work without getting a ride. Yeah, yeah. It's like, so he dropped off the money and my dad was right like 20 feet away. And I remember I was like, oh, you want to meet my dad? And my dad turned around and he was gonna come, or he was looking at me like, oh, yes or no. And he shook his head and said no. And I should not have given him an option. I should not, like, if you're ever like in a relationship and they don't want to meet your family, because like for me it was like the reverse of that one MTV show of the person hiding you from the family. I kept inviting him. I kept inviting him because it's like, I think sometimes I wonder, is it because since he will never marry me and I'm in a religious family that he won't feel comfortable because he knows that he will never put a ring on it. But he didn't realize, like, I already knew that. And especially like near the, I think it was year 4 or 5, once I had more than one job and I was saving money and paying off student debt and student loan, like I was paying like double payments on student loans, and I was saving money for like trying to buy a house and investing money. Once I was putting myself together and he was in the same boat as he was like from day one, I was relieved and happy he never wanted to get married. I was relieved he never wanted to get married because once I get a house, it's mine. He's not going to live there. And his daughter's, especially his youngest daughter, better never step her foot in that door. It's like if he ever wants to come over, he can come over. His oldest daughter was learning how to drive, so if she wants to come over, she can come by, sleep over, whatever. She's not going to live there. He's not going to live there. And the youngest one's never going to step her foot in that house. If you know, you know, because I've said many stories about her, many, many. Go back, check it out. And but if you're gonna call me the evil stepmother for that, I guess I'm just gonna have that label. But just picture the father. You keep telling the father when this one keeps kicking you and putting bruises on you and coming up like she checks the room. This girl knew how to check the room and she was like in first or second, no, yeah, first or second grade. But she knew to check the house to make sure no one was around before she would kick me or come up to me and tell me, I hate you. Yeah. And go in your bag and tear up your stuff or steal stuff from your purse and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, she would not be allowed to be in that. Yeah. Especially when her mother would tell her to do different things to me, and then when I keep telling her father, my ex, okay, we need to have a sit down, we need to talk about this, we need to figure out what is going on or how we can resolve it. He refused. He refused. It's like he won't meet my family, but then he keeps putting me in awkward situations with his youngest daughter. And then he makes me go up north to his MAGA orange man supporting Republican family. And they sometimes say some of the most racist, awful, stupid, ignorant things, highly, poorly uneducated things ever. Because remember what his mom tells me or told me. Like, the only reason you got into college is because you're black. Yeah, same woman. Same woman. And it just gets really annoying. Real, very annoying because he dropped out of college. So sometimes I just wonder a little bit. Was he threatened that a black woman, or did he not want to go to my parents' house because he's not used to black women having higher credentials than him? Women or black women, but mainly black women, because his family, like they, as my ex would tell them about me over the phone, they thought I was a white woman until he showed a picture of me to them. They thought I was a white woman. They've even told me they thought I was a white, they could have sworn I was a white woman. Yeah, yeah. So I kind of wonder, is the reason why he never wanted to come to my parents' house was because my mom has a master's, highly educated, and things like that. My father has like some higher education, worked his tush off, learned about investing, invested money, and it's like was they able to lift their family up from like the farmland lower class segregated like Alabama South to being where they are now. And I don't know, it's just sometimes I'm pretty sure part of it is race because like even with my education and my with my work, when I got the adjunct professor position, I remember he was like, anybody can get that job. And it was just quite a few times when, like, when I finished writing my rough draft of my novel, oh, I'm only going to read it if you publish it. Huh. And I sometimes I wonder if that was a burn because he knew my mother threatened to throw me out of the house if I tried to be an author, if I tried to publish a book and things like that. So I think he knew that I was too nervous to publish it. I was too scared to publish it back then because I wrote notes on children's books and I did write some children's books before my mom passed away. And it's sad, but once my mom passed, I kind of felt like I had some freedom. And that's when I started writing the rough draft of the novel. Like, literally, it was like 2 or 3 months after she passed. Once I finished the rough draft of my second children's book, I was like, I want to write a novel. And he kind of laughed it off. And like while he was playing his video games, that's what I was doing. I was typing it up and we're like doing research on publishing, doing research on like even owning like a business, like there's different business ideas that I had, but he kept laughing me off. Or whenever I would show him ideas and drafts, oh, I could come up with better stuff than that. I could do better. That's not good. That's not great. And then it was crazy because I remember with a person I was going to hire as an illustrator, but she didn't want to do the work because she was, I don't have anything nice to say about her, so I'll stop on that. But I remember she was going through my journal and she found those ideas that he told me were no good, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, are you going to turn these into to t-shirts? What are you doing with these?" I'm like, "Oh no, yeah, those are just some ideas I came up with like months ago, but my ex told me they're no good or so. I mean, nothing to do with my stories or whatever. And she's like, no, these are amazing. These are so cute. These are adorable. And she was just like, and she was like, oh, some of these are petty. I'm like, yeah, I'm either I go cute or and adorable or the petty route. And she was like, oh my gosh, no, like, why did he tell you that? And that's when I started realizing that he was just trying to keep me down. He didn't want me to accomplish or do anything. And so at the end of the day, I kind of pieced together maybe like especially like my mom was trying to keep me down in some ways, especially like the real estate. I told you parts of the real estate story, but I haven't told you the full story. But with real estate and publishing and oh, even investing or starting a business, she threatened that she was going to kick me out of the house. And so now it's like my ex didn't want me to have anything to do with that. But since my parents did better off than his family, I I don't know if it was jealousy, but at the same it's like there's so many. And that's one reason why I'm like, therapy is beneficial because one day, once I have my life together a little bit, where I can go to a therapist, lie on that couch, and I'm going to be have some popcorn and some strawberry lemonade. I'm like, okay, here's my story. Here we go. Because I want to know why would he have had an issue seeing my parents? And if you have any guesses, let me know because I don't. I honestly do not know. And I only have guesses, I only have hypotheses because he had to, let's just say, beauty wise, there's some things that he had to change about him. So, yeah, let's just say throughout the years, he changed kind of dramatically in a couple ways. And so I don't know if that was part of it. And then he's an atheist, and some Christian, they're like, oh my gosh, no, he's an atheist. Like, yeah, when Christian men kept telling me that I must not love God enough because I walk like this, and or it's like one guy I remember telling me, you better thank God that your mom's against abortion because if she knew you were going to end up like that, she would have gotten rid of you. And these are all from Christian men. And yeah, it's like if you only knew what, and that's one reason why when people have the nerve to tell me there's no such thing as Christian drama or trauma, or it's like we uplift you. No, you don't. Majority of the like, okay, I'll say 40 to 50% of the trauma I have been through have been through religious people. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of you guys aren't uplifting or encouraging or great or amazing. A lot of you guys blame me for my disability. And with my disability, I think my ex didn't want to meet my family because he didn't want to marry me. He only thought I was worth dating because I was continuously, getting my life together, getting myself together. And I think and he said he was never going to be my white knight. But remember when I told you he said once I bought a house he was going to buy me a puppy? Yeah, it's like I keep thinking he kept wanting me to get the big things, get myself together because he was going to find a way to get himself involved in that. Because I think it was when his oldest daughter was 16 or 17, he told me that once his youngest daughter finishes high school, that we were going to move up north with his family. He has never met my family. I have invited him to the family so many times. I invited him to the house. I invited him to barbecues, not even on holidays, nothing. But oh yeah, 4th of July's I invited him to. There's so many times I invited this man. He never met my parents. And now like it'll never be my mom cuz not oh, he wouldn't even go to the funeral. I begged, I cried. And yes, I had a terrible relationship with my mother, but I only have one mother and I needed support. And you say you're never going to marry me, but you say you're going to treat me like a wife. And part of me, like after my surgery, I kind of wondered when when his mother passes away, would he force me to go to her funeral? Because I it's like she's so despicable and racist and bigoted. I would not go. Would he judge me? Would he try to judge me for not going? That is one thing I was thinking about. And I don't know, it's just if you have never met your significant others or your boyfriends or whatever family, find out, have a meeting, have a sit down. Yeah, do that. Do that. Because, like with my ex, he told me we were going to out, and I remember saying no. I was like, I'm not going up there with them. No. Lake City, Michigan, you want a black woman. You want a black, like, I was like, did you forget what happened the first time we were up there? How everyone stared and glared me down to the point where your oldest daughter was crying because she said how awful and racist they were to me. And then how people you graduated high school with, came up to you to talk to you. They came to shake your hand and talk. And they ignored me the entire time. They didn't even shake my hand. You didn't, and he did not introduce me. But he expects me to go up to that, in my opinion, racist, bigoted, no good land. No. It's like, I would like, mm-mm. They would have to cut down every single tree. And if you know what I'm talking about. No. It's like, you're not going to be my family, but then you're going to put me in you're going to tell me that you're going to put me in an unsafe, uncomfortable situation. When, like, whenever we went out to eat in public up there, it's like, I think they had to switch waitresses one time because she didn't want to serve me. Okay, maybe that's just a guess, but we had one waitress, and then she saw me, then we had a new waitress. Why do you think that happened? And we never saw her again. And while we were leaving that restaurant, everyone was staring at me, like some pointing at me. Some people saying, look at her. Look at her. So you won't meet my family, but you would put me in that uncomfortable situation. But then people say there's no more racism. Yeah, you should have been. And then also, you brag that you never had to learn African American history. You brag that you never had to celebrate African American Month. So, did you not want to meet my family because you want nothing to do with them? You don't want to learn about them. You don't want to learn about their situation, our family, our customs, our culture. It's like, are you that ashamed? Like, because if you're ashamed of African Americans, you're ashamed of me. Why would you date me if you're ashamed of me? Why are you embarrassed if you're, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, but just know that this is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too. If you have a better guess, let me know because I have no, like, I only have hypotheses from what I have observed. And you probably will hear another episode once I analyze and break down the relationship even more. Take care and know yourself and make sure their family knows you too, your authentic you.